Happy holidays, everyone, by the way.
Yes, yep.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Hope everybody was safe and comfortable.
All right, it looks like we are live. So I'll call the meeting into order at 7:02 p.m. First off, welcome, Dean. It's great to have you joining the committee.
Welcome, Dean.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll start with just voting the minutes from the previous meeting.
I make a motion to accept.
All right.
I'll second.
All right. Anyone opposed? None. All right. Whoops. Well, I forgot to do the all of those in favor, I guess. But since there are no opposed, so we'll just go with that.
Opposed.
All right.
Carry.
Moving forward to old business. Are there any updates regarding the volleyball court?
I have an update. Mike and I were supposed to meet on the 3rd, and we didn't.
Oh.
We both forgot
All right.
to pick a site or kind of survey a little bit.
Yeah. Yep.
So, what's that?
Oh.
So I suppose we can make another time, Mike, on whatever's available for you. Maybe this weekend or something if you're around.
Probably this weekend would be okay. That way, maybe we wouldn't forget.
Yeah, short. It's a short-term remembrance, right? So
Yeah, right.
well, let's do it again. Like, what did we pick? We picked Sunday morning, which was the 3rd. So what was it? 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it this Sunday at 9. Kind of take a walk around. If anybody else wants to be there as well, more than welcome.
All right. I'm actually available, so I might stop by and join you guys too.
I'm gonna put Post-its all over my house this time.
I'll write that on my email.
I put it in my calendar. I'll call you.
All right. Any other updates regarding the volleyball court? No.
I don't think so. So I did reach out to Ron Milovich, just kind of quick voicemail. Due to the holidays, I believe he probably didn't get the message because I don't think he has a cell phone, or he doesn't answer his cell phone or whatever. So I left a message with the town. I didn't hear anything back, so I'll keep trying since the holidays are kind of done.
Yeah.
I'll keep trying with him, but I mean, we've got time with that. I don't think that's a real pressing issue, you know?
Yeah. Yep. And if need be, I could always just reach out to Tracy and maybe she can relay the message.
Yeah, that's probably your best bet. She's probably got the best connection to him as opposed to the town hall.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Awesome. Let's see. And then next is, sorry, hang on. Just lost the minutes. What's next on the minutes? The agenda.
Christmas decorations.
Christmas decorations. All right. Yeah. So just from like an outsider's perspective, because I wasn't too involved with this, it seemed extremely successful. So great job, and thank you everyone for doing that. Would anyone like to kind of just give a quick summary of it?
I think Melinda and I could probably. You want to do it, Melinda? You could.
You go ahead.
You want me to give the summary? We actually met on Friday evening. We have 21, 20, 22?
21.
So we got the signs put together. I believe the people kept them. We didn't get them back from them. Which is,
I got a few back, not many.
You got a few back.
Do you want them back? Mine's half in a snowbank.
I don't think it's necessary. In all reality, that they were only about $4 a piece. But I definitely think we should consider doing this again for the future. Participation was awesome for the first year. It was really fun. We had some people we got to talk to while we were putting the numbers up. Melinda and I actually had a pretty fun time. We drove around and we laughed, and it was fun.
Yep, we had a good time.
We got to be privy to the decorations before everybody else was, which was cool.
Yeah.
Too. And there was a great participation. People were really creative. So for the future, we should definitely follow through with this. I think it would grow, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like you said, the 22 participants, that's a great number anyways, you know, just considering how small of a town we are. So,
Yeah, we put it together in like 3 weeks. So
yeah. Yeah.
it's really good. What I had one more. I think next year, I think we ought to be a little more creative with the signage. Maybe actually have the signs made, as opposed to just a one plain white sign with a number. Because I heard it got a little confusing for some folks.
Okay.
Finding them.
Yeah.
So maybe in the directions, you know, say illuminate your sign so people can see it, or we can make the signs so they're more colorful or whatever. You know, I don't know. That's 11 months from now, so I'm not.
Yeah.
And I did
go
deliver
ahead.
the gift cards to Lavender Hill Alpacas. She was very, very happy with that. And to Sue and Joe Miller, and then to Bruce Mallet, I mailed that one.
Awesome. I realized, like, you know, halfway through, and, you know, again, I apologize for kind of not being involved. It was kind of chaotic for me when we were planning that. But I noticed like a comment on Facebook, and it made me realize basically the comment was, you know, would pictures be uploaded on Facebook for those that aren't really able to get around, like out and about. And I think we discussed it, and I just, again, didn't think of this during the discussion, but I wouldn't be opposed to maybe doing just like one or two pictures of each house and then uploading it on Facebook maybe next year, just for those that can't necessarily get out of the house. I know, you know, the purpose was to get people driving around town and seeing all the houses, but that's just something that I thought might be a good benefit for next year.
Definitely, if not one picture, maybe multiple. You know, like
Yeah. I mean, we don't need to make it a big to do, because I know it could be, you know, a pain in the butt, you know, uploading 200 pictures or something like that. You know, like 5 pictures of each house could quickly add up. But yeah, someone made that comment, and I kind of thought that would be a good addition. So
I agree.
But yeah, other than that, the feedback on Facebook was really great. So again, thank you for everyone for chipping in and putting that together.
I think you'll get a lot more people next year. And actually, I think I've already heard people who have made comments about they went and got clearance, you know, decorations this year, preparing for next year. So I think it's a huge success at that point.
That's good. That's good news. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, I bet that it's gonna, you know, kind of breed some hardcore decorators now.
Good. It's what we want, really.
Yeah. And it really does go along with the whole, you know, building of a community kind of thing, the sense of community. So it was a lot of fun. Even my wife and I, the two of us, just decided to drive around a couple of days before Christmas and check them out. So it was very fun. All right. Any other comments about the decorations?
I say good job, everyone. I thought it went well.
Yeah. All right. COVID guideline signs. I ended up going with a local company. I know I initially said that I'd reach out to someone that I've worked with in Rhode Island, but after I thought about it, like they're out over by the Newport area. So it was shipping, and it just didn't make any sense to work with that person. So I reached out to, I can't ever remember their name. It starts with a P. They're in Norwich.
Pro-cop?
Yeah, exactly. And they so far has been great. I put in the order like 2 weeks ago. I checked in with him yesterday. He said he expects it to be done this week. He gave me a quote for $450. So the max was 500, so we should come in right under that. And as soon as we get them, we can start installing them. I didn't get any hardware because I figured one, it'd probably be cheaper. Well, one, our public works department might have some of that hardware already. But also, if we do need to buy it, it probably would just be cheaper to, buy it from, Lowe's, Home Depot, or Bronson's. So right now it's just the signs. It's no posts, no nuts, bolts, any of that stuff. But
When are they slated to be delivered?
he said they should be done this week, and I'll plan on going and picking them up. It's not too far out of the way. So, but yeah, so probably in the next week or two. I don't mind, putting them up if someone wants to help. That's fine, but it's not a very big job. So, I'll send out like a text, before I go out and do it. Like I said, if anyone wants to join, you're more than welcome to, but not a big deal if you can't. So
They were that was the company that did our T-shirts as well.
okay, awesome. Yeah, he seems to be. I'm working with Fran.
Fran Hool, yeah.
Yeah,
He was my junior high school track coach.
Small world.
He's a super nice guy. Great
Yeah.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
great guy.
Yeah, I haven't had any issues, and he's been super responsive. So I enjoy it, and if we have any needs in the future, I'm all for going
think
back
we
to them.
I think we should put a little letter together for him regarding the T-shirts and the signage.
Sure.
Kind of
Yeah.
as like a little PR stunt,
Yeah.
Maybe we can get cheaper
Absolutely.
prices in the future for stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's the status on that. That's all. Anyone else have comments about that?
No, I'd be happy to help you too, Mark. Put those signs.
Okay.
If I can remember.
All right. Next up is Memorial Fund. Mike, I think this is.
Yeah, I'll spearhead this. In case anybody didn't remember, Chuck and Lori Salter's son passed away this past year, Brett, and he was just a fantastic kid, great student, great athlete in Valentine Elementary School. When I did rec basketball, he was one of the people, well, obviously in the past, not this year, but he was one of the guys that would just show up randomly and help out with the kids. And obviously as he got a little older, it dwindled, but in his younger days, he was there and with without question. And I thought we talked about this, I don't know, must have been back in June or July, right after he passed away, about putting together a memorial fund. Obviously we'd have to do this in conjunction with the school, just to kind of give out a little gift for an 8th grade graduate, and maybe invite Chuck and Lori to graduation with the anticipation of them or helping. This we might need to do a little discussion about this, have some talks about how we're going to go about doing it. But I thought athletics, academics, because he was a fantastic student. Obviously, I don't know if everybody knows, but he was accepted into the Air Force Academy.
Oh, wow.
Which is not an easy thing to do.
No.
He was a great student, salutatorian at NFA when he graduated. So, scholar athlete. So I thought those two items might be, the main premise for the Memorial Fund. We'd have to figure out like kind of a monetary value.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even invite Chuck and Lori into the decision-making process if they're accepting of it. Maybe they won't. I don't know. I can have that discussion with them. I'm very close to them. But this is, again, it's January, so we have we've got 6-7 months to figure this out. So, or 6 months to figure it out. So maybe keep it in everybody's mind. If you want to keep it on the agenda for a little while, give some people some time to think. And if you have ideas, I'm all about it, and I know it would be extremely appreciated by specifically Chuck and definitely Lori. So, I don't know. Let's get the conversation started here, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm all for it. And I mean, as far as the requirements for it, I unfortunately I didn't know him, but you recommending athletics and academics, I have no issue about that.
Well, Chuck was also a longtime member of the Recreation Commission as well. And in fact, he was the one who was like, "Hey, Mike, you want to be on the commission?" And as soon as I showed up, he left. So it was, I see where his angle was, so, I appreciate him doing that. So I think giving back in remembrance of Freddie would be a really, really great thing for them,
Yeah.
and keep it going throughout the future, maybe even may have a plaque made with the child's name, put it up in the glass case in the school. The Brett Salter name would forever be there.
Yep.
That would mean, Chuck's so involved with the school, with the girls basketball team. And it would just, I think it would mean a tremendous amount to that family. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what the restrictions are as far as this is something we'd probably have to talk to Amy Suffoletto about when they do their little award ceremony at the end of the year. They do give monetary gifts. I don't know what the restrictions are as far as that's concerned. I really don't know.
I do know in the past when the PTO did stuff, the amount had to be, it was like they didn't want it to be more than certain awards. So the amount would be like $50 or something like that, because they didn't want it to be some large amount and overstep other things.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know what we have to have a conversation with Amy and kind of figure out what those restrictions are.
Yeah, it's not meant to be like a scholarship. It's
they're in eighth grade. They're going to high school.
Yeah.
They're not going to use it for college or books or tuition or anything like that. But even more importantly, I think having a plaque made outside of maybe whatever the maximum requirement gift would be monetarily, having a plaque made with the child's name, and more importantly, Brett's name on that plaque in that case would be, it would mean a tremendous amount, donated by the Recreation Commission for Chuck's, time and efforts and, membership and whatnot. This is why I wanted to have the conversation now, to kind of get our minds wrapped around it.
I can reach out to Amy about the award because YSB gives out an award as well. So I talk to her at least once every 2 weeks. So I can reach out to Amy.
Okay. Maybe even see if Amy would be open to having that plaque inserted into their case. I don't know how they feel about that, but it's got nothing. It really doesn't have anything. It does have something to do with school because the child would be a student of the school, obviously. But let's get the conversation started with the school first, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, I'll reach out to Amy this week.
Okay, cool. That's basically my presentation.
All right. Yeah, I'm all for it. So, all right, moving on to new business. First on the agenda is the 2021-2022 fiscal year budget. So Julie Zielinski distributed to all of the committees kind of like the budget packet. And just to give a quick timeline, so packets were distributed December 23rd. And let's see, development. It looks like we have, what is it? We have until March 30th to submit our budget. So after this meeting, we still have 2 more meetings to kind of brainstorm and, just kind of decide on what we want to put together. If I recall, last year, we pretty much just proposed the same budget that we've had for previous years. That's probably going to be the case again this year. But I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention that it's that time of year again. So if you have any thoughts for changing the budget, just kind of brainstorm, and then we can discuss it next meeting.
Are they asking us to cut or maintain or?
No, there were no, specific instructions. Just it was just distributed like it's so in the packet it includes the timeline, then the general questions that they kind of ask every year. So it's 7 questions. What were your accomplishments? What changes would you like to see? What are your goals for the next 5 years? Those kind of questions. And then it includes, let's see, our budget it includes a breakdown of our last 4 budgets. And then it includes like a specific line item budget or breakdown of this current fiscal year. So there were no comments on whether or not to, make cuts or add to it or anything.
Could you forward that to us for the next meeting so we can see what you're looking at?
Sure. Yep, I can definitely do that.
So I know we don't have everyone here, but we definitely have a new brain here. What are anybody's thoughts on increasing the budget? I don't know if Dean is aware of what's our budget now. It's like 13 and change, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Right now, I think it's actually 13 flat.
13 flat. And we have probably 75% of that left in our budget, correct?
Yep. Yeah. You know your numbers, Mike.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So that being said, I guess it's time to start brainstorming any larger, if we do ask for a larger budget, it doesn't hurt. I mean,
WISB.
you know what I mean? It doesn't hurt to ask for a larger
Yeah.
budget if we have some larger things in mind. Obviously maintenance is one of them. We're talking about the ball field. That could be a larger sum project.
Yeah. So,
track.
Yep. So in this, I think we could include some capital projects. That is one of the questions. They don't ask for a breakdown, but if we wanted to be proactive and provide quotes and such, we could probably do that. But yeah, like you said, renovating the ball field is something that we've talked about a lot. And that's going to be probably a good chunk of change. And then the walking track, like you said.
And also maintaining the volleyball court once that's up.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep,
Movie
that's true.
licenses, the screen, if we hopefully get the screen this year.
Yep.
Personally, and on that note, so we've had a lot of trouble with our lighting on the basketball court and the playground area, the Gaga ball court. If there is a volleyball court there, I think upgrading the lighting would be a bonus.
Yeah.
And a little bit more security on the lighting fixture controllers that we have, because somebody got into the control panel, I guess. So maybe a little bit better security. I mean, we've got 75% of our budget left over for this year.
Yeah.
And we're only 50% through the fiscal year.
Yep.
So I think we ought to really think about not getting down to the 11th hour and spending a ton of money on not being hasty, but giving them the idea, like, this is where our direction is. This is why we're increasing our budget. This is, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We've actually spent a third of our budget.
Third, okay.
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
I was off by 9%.
yeah, just a little.
So, okay. What did I say? Oh, okay. Sorry. What I'm looking at here is the increase from previous fiscal year to this year. So it looks like we had a 26% increase.
From
I'm
last
looking at
year,
this. From the previous fiscal year.
we had no increase from last year. I don't know what they have on there, but
I'm not.
they were
okay,
not,
so
they were
I-
not allowing any increases last year because
Yeah.
of all the
Yeah. There
COVID
was a
stuff.
freeze. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm sorry. I'm a little lost as to what the title is: profit and loss budget versus actual, and then there's 4 columns.
It is confusing the way
Yeah.
that they break everything out. So if you're not used to looking at it, it's totally understandable.
Yeah. Well, it's just this layout that that I'm not familiar with. But yeah, so I'll forward this to everyone. I'll maybe even look into again some clarification from Tracy. But yeah, so I'll distribute this to everyone. But you're right, Mike. I think like you said, we shouldn't wait until the 11th hour to, spend money. Again, going off of this, not so sure of what this budget is. We have $4,600 for equipment and repairs. So we do have money for some items that you just listed off, such as, the electrical box, the lighting, things of that nature. So
Yeah, we've had a little trouble kind of chasing parts and pieces for pre-existing stuff to upgrade or to fix them, as opposed to just maybe saying, forget it, let's upgrade. So we've got a 5-year warranty on new stuff. It might, for optics reasons, might give them the impression that we're moving in the right direction for upgrading that entire facility, and may make it easier for them to increase our budget. Like, okay, the rec commission is putting forth efforts to, put a movie screen up permanently, or making the lighting better, or making security better, or making the facilities better. They might say, all right, let's give them an extra $3,000 in their budget.
yeah.
They're moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And actually, I just kind of had this thought. The pole barn, the old DPW barn. It's been said that could be handed over to us if we are interested. So that's something that we still need to investigate. And I think before we kind of take that on, because the last thing we want is to take on a dilapidated building.
Well, that building, Mark, number one, I think it's already ours.
Okay.
So when they're fully out of it, am I incorrect in assuming that?
I
think you're right.
I think the impression is that it is ours. I don't know. I think they are fully out of it. I know Tracy has made the comment that they'd like to leave a couple of things there. But personally, before we kind of like take ownership of it, I'd kind of like them to clean it up a little bit, like the outside.
Absolutely.
It looks like there's just some junk there.
So that situation at the old town garage, I'll call it.
Yeah.
That has the capability or the possibility for a grant situation. It seems to me we could probably get a grant to remediate, clean up, demo.
Yeah.
In phases even. Like the demo phase 1, and then that'll buy us a little bit of time to maybe find some more grant money. I mean, I know grant money is not easy to come by these days.
Yeah.
But in the next few years, hopefully, when this COVID thing goes away, which it does,
Yeah.
So spending our own money on that, as opposed to spending the town's money to get it like cleaned up and goodbye. And then say, all right, now we chase down a grant to do something with it. We get a plan for it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
My other concern with it is again, going back to, it might be assumed that it's ours, but I also don't necessarily want to take ownership of it. I don't know what exactly is necessary, but I'd even propose maybe getting like an inspector involved or something, or maybe like a soil test, because again, I just don't want to take ownership of it. And then as soon as we find out, as soon as we take ownership of it, it has to then become ADA compliant. And,
Well,
the
I
soil
think
is,
the building itself is on recreation property, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
So it is technically our structure.
Is it? Yeah.
We may want to plan for when they completely abandon the place, or if we push them to get out, for security. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's something we might say, hey, leave a couple plows there, or a dumpster or something like that, just to give it the appearance that it's still occupied, so it doesn't get vandalized, it doesn't get burned down. Actually, getting burned down would probably be the best thing for us, but I said that, I did say that on record. I'm sorry.
We're not encouraging it. Just
so maybe we talk to Tracy and get a little bit more information before we actually jump on any other, movement.
Yeah, because she's also offered to, give us a tour. We just need to set up a time with her, and anyone that's interested. She said that she'll, walk us through it. I've never been in it, so I really have no idea what it looks like. That's probably part of my, hesitation. So
it's not much, man, believe me.
yeah. No, and that's fine. It doesn't need to be much. If we just use it as storage, that's fine. Obviously it'd be nice. Again, I have no idea what it looks like, but maybe one day if we could use it as, I don't know, like some kind of programming facility. Probably not. What's the ground like? Is there a floor, or is it just?
It's a slab on grade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then there was a section petitioned off inside for like the work crews lunchroom or.
Okay.
I
All
don't-
right. So there's something inside, just not much. All right.
I think a tour would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree.
Sunday,
Yeah.
no.
It's kind of like just buying a new house. Like, I don't want to take on the house and then find out that it has all these issues.
Well, here's the bad part, Mark. The bad part is once they abandon it, that's what they're going to do. They're going to abandon it, and it's going to be our responsibility.
Yeah.
Because it's on recreation property.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to make provisions for security. We're gonna have to make provisions for lighting.
Yeah.
And I mean, the lighting is gonna be there, but we want it to look like it's occupied in the meantime, so it doesn't get destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, like I said, it's probably the best thing to get destroyed, but not purposely. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
We want to have a plan in place to either replace or just completely demo or whatever.
So tying this back to the budget, I'm assuming that Public Works probably isn't going to. I'm assuming that we might need to take action within the next coming fiscal year.
Yeah.
So that's something that we should consider going into this new budget proposal. Maybe you've talked a lot about security, which I agree with. Maybe we add a line item for new security features, at the barn, things of that nature. So, and then, a new coat of paint on it might help a lot too. So.
Yeah, we need to know what's going on with it, because they have cameras there now. Are they still functional? Did they disconnect them?
Even
if the town gives it to us, they're still responsible because we are part of the town. If they polluted it with salt or fuel oil.
Yeah, true.
It's not only us, it's them too.
That's correct.
True.
And you can spend a ton of money on that thing. Let's face it.
Well, which I was kind of hinting at is that if it is a polluted zone, there is like there will be state grant money available.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, if you're going to have a plan in place, say we put another structure in its own footprint, or even upgrade and go bigger, or we have grand plans like Van used to think about having a municipal center.
Mhm.
You know, there's money out there for that. So, but for the next 6 months, in order to keep it ours and keep it still there, and while we have a plan, like you said, Mark, security is probably a good idea. You know, it's
Yeah.
Hopefully they still have them cameras operating to keep an eye on it.
yeah. Are we sure they're not going to take them down when we say, hey, it's ours, get out of
Well,
here? You know,
That's what we have to talk to Tracy or
that's
something.
right. That's right.
Yeah. Yep.
So Mark, maybe why don't you set up a time with Tracy that we can all meet her down there and we can kind of discuss this
Okay. Yep. I'll do
instead
that.
of guessing what if.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Sounds good to me.
I mean, to me, the possibilities of that one lot per se, just that footprint, the lot, the parking lot, back, that's a tremendous amount of space
Yep.
for something that could be really beneficial. You know?
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Okay. Any other comments regarding the budget? I'll send it out to everyone. If not tonight, probably tomorrow. So.
No, I have no other comments.
All right. And then next on the minute or on the agenda, does someone have it in front of them?
Basketball
Ball
court.
court.
Basketball court. Oh, the lighting. Okay.
The issue with the box that Jamie
Yeah,
told us about.
Yeah, I went down and took a look at it like the day that you mentioned it.
Yep.
It's I don't know if it was necessarily vandalized. The hinges were rusted, so it's possible that they just broke off during the windstorm, or it's possible someone just decided to play with the door, and because the hinges were rusty, they broke off. We should. I was looking into like the replacement box, but I'm not an electrician, so
Yeah.
so I don't. If anyone is more savvy with that stuff, I recommend going down and just taking a look. Basically, my thought was, it's you have the timer box. That's what it's protecting, is the timer to the light, and then you have a larger metal electrical box that is simply just protecting the timer box. So it's not urgent, because the timer, like the hardware, the electrical is still covered, it's protected, but someone does have access to it.
There was a lock on that box.
Yes.
I put the lock on there.
Okay. Was the lock on the timer or just on the bigger box?
No, it was on the steel box that was on the outside, the gray steel box.
Yeah. So that's what broke. So what I'm getting at is I don't know. I just simply Googled the manufacturer and tried to find the matching product, and I was getting products, upwards of $300-400. So I don't know if that seems a bit high to me. Then I kind of like Googled similar products for Home Depot, and I was getting products for like, $50 to $100. I don't know if what's there currently has to be there or if there's other alternatives. There's a lot of extra space in that box, so I don't know if we can downsize or whatever. So this is why I'm saying, if someone else is more savvy with electrical, or if you guys feel that we need to have an electrician come out and take a look at it, or maybe the DPW guys can go and take a look at it. It looks like a relatively easy fix. I just don't know the extent of it. So
Why don't we look at it on Sunday when you guys meet at 9:00?
that's a good idea. Are you good with that, Mike?
I'm great with that. I've got to be honest. Like, I've had such poor luck with electricians in the last year or two. I'm almost reluctant to jump out there and say, yeah, I'll call somebody. But everybody I call's like way too expensive, or they don't show up, or
Yeah.
you know.
I don't mind even taking on that part. I guess I would like a second opinion from someone else on the commission to see if we even need to involve an electrician or if someone is willing to take the lead on it. Because again,
Well,
it's just replacing the box.
Let's look at it on Sunday,
Yeah.
and if the box needs to be replaced, I definitely feel like it's worthwhile to contact an electrician,
Okay.
have him replace the box. If the timer is broken, have him replace that, and then give us a price on replacing all the lights, if not adding more.
Okay.
That way we can use some of our money for this year.
Yeah.
The lighting has always been an issue there. We've tried to do it. And maybe multiple folks in the commission can jump in and be like,
Yeah.
okay, I know an electrician down in Ledgerd, or I know, I'm in construction, and electricians are like the laziest friggin' people on a job site. We call them elect chickens, you know?
My in-laws are going through a lengthy project with an electrician right now, and it's been going on for 2 weeks, and it doesn't need to take 2 weeks long. So I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Kevin Schultz has done some stuff for us before.
Who's that?
Kevin Schultz.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I contacted Kevin when we were talking about adding lights to the upper part of the field, where the gate is. And he's taken on a new capacity at Conn College. He's like the facilities director there now.
Really?
He doesn't want anything to do with anything else.
Really?
He flat out told me, he's like, Mike, he's like, I'd love to help you, but I can't promise anything,
So he's not really running his business anymore then?
I don't think he is. He might be doing it kind of like whenever he wants, but he's got a pretty demanding position now. He's on call like 24/7, 365. I reached out to DEF.
Yeah. There's some small local guys around that.
Van Zant Electric was another one that was in Griswold. I've worked with them before. They were like, yeah, I'll go look at it. And that was it. And the only other guy I can think of is Jeremy Sadowski. I don't know if you guys anybody's familiar with him. He lives on Bailey Pond. He's got his own electrical company. I will give him a call, but I can tell you right now he's extremely busy. But I will give him a call and kind of get his thoughts.
Well, what did we decide with the lights? I know, are they working or they are not working?
There's one set that kind of goes over toward the playground area. It kind of illuminates that area that's out. And nobody could find any documentation of what the lights that we used.
Well, we found something, and it's not actually, it's like the controller, the circuit board that runs the LEDs.
Well,
they're real expensive, and they're not worth replacing because it's not like replacing a light bulb.
You might as well just replace the entire fixture itself.
Replace the whole head.
That's correct.
Right.
So the guy who told me that was the guy from DEF, because Jason Neary, Jason Neary, Giselle's husband. She works in the town hall. He works at DEF, but he's kind of a mechanical guy. But he said, yeah, I'll have somebody go take a look at it. And they gave us a quote for like $1,800 to install a new circuit like you're talking about, Mike.
Right.
And at that point, I think we decided like, all right, let's just hold off. And we never really went any further with it.
Yeah, because they're warranted the bulb not to burn out, but the circuit board's so old that it's outdated and you can't really get it. So we need to replace the whole head.
I think it's worth it. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's worth it to replace the whole heads on everything.
And get a new warranty and the whole,
all
of them. Do all of them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So we need to just bite the bullet and get it done. And you need somebody with a bucket truck and.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we still have the Gate Street Fund money that's for the field.
Yeah.
So Tammy, how much do we have left in our budget for this year? Because these are the kinds of things that I was talking about might show the town that we're being proactive for upgrades and for futures,
Right. So So what we have left is $8,605.66 in the regular budget.
So maybe
And
we ought to think about like, what are our priorities for the spring? Obviously the volleyball court is one.
Yep.
I don't see a tremendous amount of dollars and cents going into that with the help from,
Unless we have to rent a machine.
right, which we need to talk to Ron Milovich, but even that's that's a weekend. That's $1,000, $1,200, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, these are the things we probably ought to like start discussing is like, what's our priority?
Yeah. Yeah.
Volleyball court is a priority, but if we're going to put a volleyball court in, we probably should fix the lights. So those kind of
Yeah.
go hand in hand, you know?
Yep. Yep. I agree.
So let's meet on Sunday.
Okay.
Let's talk about the location of the court that'll be easily accessible for the lights to illuminate it. And then maybe go after somebody to replace all the heads and the lights and then maybe add some if we can do that. And at that turn, they probably have to replace the controller because it'll be a different controller. And they can replace the box at the same time.
Yeah.
Does that sound appropriate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amy, do you know how much is left in the Gate Street Fund?
Yes, it's $15,822.22.
Okay.
So we have plenty of money.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I
I
think
mean-
I think Mike's right. I think we bite the bullet on the lights once we establish a spot for the volleyball court.
Agreed. Yep. Yeah. So I guess next meeting, if everyone can, just kind of in their mind, either, well, come up with a list of projects that we'll need for the next year. So pretty much all the way until, let's see, July 1st of
July 1st, yeah.
2022.
Mhm.
And then prioritize that list. So that's what we'll be talking about next meeting. So
Put it on the agenda.
yep.
I was gonna actually put a list of things that we've been talking about. I'll put it in the email. And then we can, that way you guys see it, you guys can kind of prioritize it,
Yeah.
and then we can add to it if need be.
Yep.
At least we have it in front of us.
Yeah, we have a lot of things up in the air right now, and we need to
We need to,
start
Yep.
getting it done. So
Yep. I agree.
okay, good. That's it for new business. I do not have any correspondence. I haven't been down to town hall in months. Melinda, have you had the chance?
No, but I gotta drop off the sign, so maybe I'll try to go tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
But yeah, so I don't have any correspondence. And then general discussion. Anyone have anything? All right.
Dean, you got anything?
No, I'm just taking this all in right now. So
Good.
Actually,
all right.
Dean, are you looking into finding a movie screen for us for the drive-in?
yes, I haven't really had much chance to look into it yet, but I've got some ideas of some things we can look at to try to make it easier for next year.
Great.
Okay.
I definitely feel like that should be a priority for this fiscal year's budget.
I agree.
Oh, absolutely. That was a big hit this year. So
Yep.
Yep. Dean, do you think maybe by next meeting you can just give us like a couple of quotes, even if it's a ballpark? You know, we don't need to buy anything, but as long as we know what we're working with, then we can come up with a plan from there.
Yep, not a problem.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Any other discussion? All right, awesome. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Bye.
All those opposed? All right, none. All right, so meeting is adjourned at 7:51.
Courtney, remind Dad for Sunday. I'll remind Mike K. Mark, you're on your own.
All right.
Thank you, Melinda.
You're welcome.
Make sure it's Saturday night. It's not Sunday morning. I've been sleeping a lot lately.
Okay.
I
got
got
you.
I got my wife a weighted blanket. Well, it was supposed to be her birthday present, but I'm so like silly and dumb when it comes to buying on Amazon. I ended up getting 2. And I'm telling you, it is the best thing in the world. I've been sleeping like a rock star. It's awesome. So strongly recommend it. If anybody's not getting enough sleep, get a weighted blanket.
All right. Awesome. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, guys.
All right,
Bye.
bye.
Dean, good having you.
Thanks.